World between fandoms. All right, Oti, we're gonna start with the big MCU movie that came out, the third entry into the Ant-Man trilogy. Who would have thunk it that Ant-Man gets three movies
Three movies.
and Superman only got one? But that's not part of this.
Different studios. Different studios.
Ant-Man 3,
No.
Quantumania. I've been a fan of the Ant-Man series. I enjoy them. Not on my top 5 or anything, but they're enjoyable movies. Ant-Man 3 came out, split decision in terms between the reviewers and the fans. You saw it a couple of days ago. I might see it tomorrow.
Okay.
Non-spoiler review. I'll ask you a few questions, but first, kind of a non-spoiler talk on it.
Okay. I just want to mention no Last of Us this week for us.
Yeah.
I do have Ellie and Joel with me.
Oh.
I had them in
a... That needs a full...
So this is a part 2 figures. So this is an older Ellie that we're getting, and this is an older Joel that we're getting. But yeah, cool figures.
All right. Oh wait, I even went to the wrong side. Cool figures, man. Oh man,
I had them in a box since I moved, and I hadn't taken them out.
All right.
Ant-Man. Okay. So I'll say that I went into this movie with a lot of expectations and a lot of hype, even as I was seeing the reviews that were not necessarily very positive. And shout out to Maggie, because Maggie, I think, was very hot in the movie, and Maggie and I have different views on these kinds of movies. So when I saw she was very positive on it, I was like, oh, I probably won't like it that much. But so, okay. I like the movie. I'll say that I did like the movie. I have a lot of issues with it, and I'll get into them. But getting the positives out of the way, I love the cast. I think the cast is amazing. Paul Rudd, I could see him do this character forever. He's fantastic. I can't remember the actress's name they brought in for Cassie, because they recast her from Endgame. She's amazing. She's just amazing. I instantly fell in love with her, and I want more of out of this character with that actress. So that was cool. Michael Douglas is having a lot of fun with this role as always, and that's always cool to see, such a huge actor just having fun with the role. Sure. Michelle Pfeiffer is also great. Jonathan Majors is Kang. He's the new Thanos of the universe. He's the next big bad for the Avengers to face. He's great as Kang. He really is great. He has a menace to him, because Jonathan Majors is a phenomenal actor, and he brings it. But going into my negatives, it's actually the character of Kang and the character of Janet Van Dyne. I love Michelle Pfeiffer in the role. I love it. But the movie, this is to prepare you a little bit, the movie asks you to care a lot about her. Okay. And just a reminder, this is a character we just met at the ending of the last Ant-Man movie, and we haven't seen her since, I think.
Yeah.
She shows up for a second in Endgame. That's it. So the movie asks you to care about her from the very beginning, and it constantly tells you that you have to care about Janet, and I really didn't care. And so, because again, this is not spoilers, but the adventure is connected to her time in the Quantumverse. So it asks you to care, and they also do the same thing with Kang. The movie relies a lot on you caring about Kang, caring about his backstory, but they never do anything to make you care. It's just like, he's the next big bad. He's bad. He has intentions. Well, I'm not gonna tell you much about them, but they're there.
Yeah, because this is a different Kang from the one we met in Loki. It's not He Who Remains. It's not him.
Yes. So in Loki, they hint at the fact that there are many Kangs, and if you've read comics, you know that there are a lot of Kangs. And this is Kang the Conqueror. Like he's supposedly the big bad. So I think the one in Loki was Kang the Benevolent. So he was, and he says this, he's like, oh, you killed me, but the next guy who comes might not be as good. So I don't know, man. I want to see Jonathan Majors as Kang in another movie with another script with another director. You know what? No, directing was not the issue. A better script. And I've seen people be like, "Oh, Kang is right. I'm rooting for him." I'm like, why? We
Yeah.
don't know his intentions. Like he briefly hints at them, but okay, sure.
Okay. Yeah, and if it's not I don't think it's a spoiler like you mentioned. There's a lot of Kangs out there, and that's kind of the one of the not perks, or one of the cool things about it. We're gonna be meeting all these different iterations of it. Do you think after seeing this movie, if it's not a spoiler, that we're gonna see different versions of Kangs going forward in the next kind of couple MCU movies, or are we just
Yeah.
sticking with Kang the Conqueror?
No. I think we're gonna see a lot of different Kangs. I won't get into that answer that much, but I
Sure.
think so. I
All
think so.
right. Sorry, one of my lights just died. Now I'm blinding myself. All right. So, question for you, because a lot of the reviewers, even before it came out, they were saying this is the most Star Wars MCU movie
Ah,
out there.
yes, of
And
course.
for myself, at least, the most Star Wars MCU movie has been the first Guardians of the Galaxy. That to me, I said here repeatedly, this is Star Wars. That's why it's one of my favorite MCU movies. And I was afraid for Force Awakens because I thought it wasn't gonna be able to live up to what Guardians did in terms of feeling like this space opera adventure. And to
How
me, that
wrong
at
you
least,
were.
and Force Awakens so great. The first Ant-Man trailer for Ant-Man 3 felt like this is just Guardians of the Galaxy because of the world, this quantum realm. Is it kind of, it feels too much like they're trying to be Guardians, or why do people say it is the most Star Wars MCU movie?
It does feel a little bit like Guardians in that sense because it's the quantum verse, but it could be a different planet. Like
Yeah.
it's very weird. But Maggie tweeted out that she wanted whatever Peyton Reed
But
was on when he made the movie because it's wild.
yeah.
um, it, so in that sense, but thank you for mentioning that because that brought me to my other point. I think you could have made this movie for $50 million less and had a better movie
Okay.
in your hands. Because I think that one of my problems with the movies, and it's one of my problems with Marvel,
Too
and
much spectacle.
since that, yeah, it's too much. Like it's another CGI army, another
Okay.
faceless CGI army,
Oh, okay.
another huge fight, another both sides
Yeah.
clashing. It's like
Okay.
so. What are they gonna do when Avengers 5 comes out?
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
and I found myself missing Iron Man versus bigger Iron Man in Iron Man 1. I
The
found myself
Ironmonger.
missing Thor versus Loki in the Bifrost. Like
Okay.
I found my scale
Yeah.
kinds of movies with Marvel. So I think they should start making smaller budget movies and we actually get better
Yeah.
quality.
Which different movie, but it's my only problem with Shang-Chi that I almost watched it again yesterday. I love three-quarters of it, but the last
I
five
agree.
is like we didn't need it. Everything leading up to it, that those characters and the smaller was a lot better. It's one of
And
the reasons I love Eternals. There's not this big battle at the end. It's just all of them just fighting, even though it's like 10 of them, but it's
yeah.
small, contained.
And
So I
even with
understand that.
did you watch Black Panther 2?
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
The ending is two CGI armies coming
Hmm.
together and fighting. But the difference between this movie and Shang-Chi and Black Panther is that the first two arcs of those movies are very
Yeah.
solid. They are very, very solid. The first two acts in Ant-Man are good, but they're
All
not
right.
as solid.
All
Oh, and
right.
by the way, MODOK. Let's
Oh, okay. I've heard either Model sucks or people are loving
it's
Model.
I'm on the I love MODOK. I
Is it
love
too
what they did.
ridiculous that you need to love it?
It's absurd. It's insane. You every time he shows up, you're gonna be like, "What am I looking at?" But I loved it because that's how I felt reading him in the comics. I was
Okay.
like, "What the hell is? How am I supposed to be afraid of this thing?" It's just like this creature. Like, oh
Yeah,
my god,
yeah.
I love what they did. I really loved it.
All right. So it's gonna be.
It's
I'll see.
bizarre.
I
It's
think I'm gonna fall on
bizarre.
that end. It's just too weird. I just enjoy it. All right. So hopefully I see it tomorrow. My daughter wants to watch it, so we'll probably go at
I,
some point tomorrow. Spend like $40 just to go watch that.
again, I, I liked it. I thought it was
Yeah.
I thought it was a good movie, but I think my issues are heightened because I'm seeing this trend with Marvel that they're making this huge spectacle movies,
Yeah.
and I think we should like make the scales a little bit smaller. Not everything has to be world-ending stakes in each movie.
It's funny because on their TV shows, they have been working because there's these smaller characters like Miss Marvel, just that family-driven show that's been great. Even She-Hulk was different. Hawkeye was different. I
Yeah.
understand movies, we need to make a
The
spectacle,
the
but
the
yeah.
only one that was like world-ending was Moon Knight with the whole gods thing.
Yeah, but still,
That's
we
fine.
didn't see any. All right, so we'll get into it. I'll watch it tomorrow and then do my own spoiler review next week.
Oh, Buck, you arrived late, my friend. Damn, dropped at the wrong time. Yes, you did. Yes,
Oh
you did,
no.
Buck. But we love you,
Yeah.
even though we make fun of you.